North American Blueberry Council meetings and get more engaged, get more involved, and have more say in what's going on with these funds that we're paying in. We pay in a lot of money into this account, and we stay at home and sit on our hands. And we need more people to come to these meetings. And you will see why when you see what her presentation is about. Now, in October of 2019, Washington is going to host the U.S. Highbush Council and North American Blueberry Council meetings in the Tri-Cities. And so if you can't come to the next meeting, which is in March in Austin. In San Diego. San Diego? San Diego. Okay, San Diego. Sorry. Okay, San Diego, 1st through the 5th of March, delightful time and place. You can come to the Tri-Cities in October. And I will tell you, if you come to these meetings once or twice, you will realize that you can't afford not to go to these meetings. You go to these meetings and you get a really, really good sense about what is going on in the blueberry industry and the direction and trends. And I can't not go to those meetings because there's just so much going on. But with that, I want to introduce Victoria, and let's give her a hand for coming all the way from California to talk to us.
Thank you, Alan. I am very excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me, and it's great to be back to the Pacific Northwest. I think the last time I was here in Seattle, it was the sunniest day of the year, so I was pretty spoiled. This is the first time I've actually been in DC, Washington, D.C., and the state of Washington in the same day. I flew in last night pretty late from a USDA meeting. But one of the great things about traveling a lot is when I'm in airports, I like to see a lot of the products that are coming out with blueberries around the country. So I'm excited to see a lot of energy bars and yogurts and smoothies and salads. And I often take pictures, and my kids think that I'm a little crazy doing that. But my daughter has started to take pictures of blueberry products, and she said she found one on Snapchat, or she found one and she posted it on Snapchat. And, you know, I've always told my daughter when it comes to social media, I'm sure you've told your kids, be careful what you post on social media. Everybody sees it. Your future employer might see it. It stays there forever. So that's kind of been my message to her. And she sends me this. So hopefully that's the first and the last picture from her. So I'm going to share with you a little bit, as Alan said, about the work we're doing with USHBC. Also give you a sneak peek at our 2019 campaign that's driving demand for blueberry purchases. But before we dive in, I want to give you a quick snapshot of what I'm going to talk about today. I often get the question, what is the difference between NABC and USHBC? You know, I'm paying an assessment to the council. Why do I need to join NABC? So I want to talk a little bit about that, the difference. I also want to share our Positively Bluetiful campaign, and then share some of the funded health research, USHBC funded health research studies that have led to media coverage to keep that health halo for blueberries in the media and on top of consumers' minds. And then I'm going to close with a little bit about how we're inspiring the use of blueberries of all forms in new products. So after that, I'll open it up to questions. Sound good? So USHBC, what I'm going to show you most of the work we're doing, you know that our growers and handlers pay assessments, mandatory assessments. And we're a national research and promotion program for the blueberry industry, and we have oversight from USDA. Your assessments fund health research on the benefits of blueberries and also campaign activities that are driving demand for blueberries with consumers. Also, you know, I often lay awake thinking about a food safety crisis that I had to worry about in my old job working for a farm as well. And I don't think any of us would want to be going through what the romaine lettuce has suffered regarding the food safety crisis. So I'm glad that we have prepared an industry issues response plan. NABC acts as the voice for that. If an issue arises, we will be responding to the media on your behalf. USHBC has also trained spokespeople throughout the country in different states to speak to this. And on our website, we have a place where you can sign up for alerts, and I encourage you to do that, and you would get emails right away telling you, keeping you up to date as the issue arises. And speaking of websites, we do have a new website. If any of you want to take a look on your phone, we also have some pop sockets available for you. Does everybody know what a pop socket is? Well, it becomes a great, my daughter taught me this, it's a great thing to hold your phone, but it's also to take pictures, and it's also a great way for us to advertise the council. But on that site, everything is really user-friendly, everything that you need, forms, election materials, market research on consumers is all on that website. And then lastly, I just want to mention that our Good Practices Committee has been doing a lot of work on food safety, and we have a new brochure, and I believe it's in the back of the room. It's in Spanish and English for your staff. So if you want extra copies, we encourage you to ask us, and we'll be happy to send you some. Now, unlike USHBC, NABC is the voice for the blueberry industry, working with legislative, regulatory, government officials, also working on market access issues, including Japan and South Korea, and also on maximum residue limits, or I'll just say MRL, concerns that impede export shipments. As a grower member, you receive the annual statistical record. You receive crop updates on a monthly basis during the harvest season. And as Alan said, it's just a great way to communicate with other growers. We encourage you to share your concerns and your issues. Let us know. You have voting rights. You can get involved and serve on committees. And if you are a vendor who works with growers, you might want to show your support. We also have an associate membership level as well. And you have many of the benefits that growers have, except no voting rights. And then the other thing I want to mention is we do work with USDA to put requests in for the school lunch program to get commodity purchases of blueberries. And we did receive an $8.5 million request from USDA, and then additional $2 million from the trade mitigation program. Let me give you a little bit of background on the blueberry market. We conduct a usage and attitudes survey that we have on our website, and we're doing that now every other year. So 2017 was our last one. We'll be doing one next year. And excuse me, health and flavor are the benefits that are bringing consumers to wanting to eat blueberries. Blueberries were ranked as the #1 preferred berry. And purchase intent at very likely is high. It's up 10% from 2013. And a whopping 75% of Americans are on the pathway to purchase blueberries. We also have category management data, reports, and implications that we share. So looking at the last 5 years of consumption data, we're happy to say that fresh volume, dollars, and per capita sales of blueberries are up. Blueberry sales volume is about up 1.8% in the berry category, but the share of fresh berries in the produce category is flat. And so that means that we really need to do a better job at being more efficient and targeted in our campaigns to help increase blueberry consumption and demand. So this is overall what our program does is how do we make blueberries the consumer's top berry? We have a robust mix of marketing activities. It includes getting blueberries on the menus in restaurants and in school food service. So we're really trying to be innovative and inspire new uses for blueberries through all types of forms, you know, not just fresh and produce, but powder and dried and concentrates. I won't spend as much time today talking about that part of our program, but I want you to know that we do have a lot of effort going on and have had successes in working with like Sizzler on its blueberry lemonade and a lot of other limited time offers that we're working on now. We also are maintaining the blueberry health halo, I like to say, by getting those health benefits out in the media, which I know is important to you. By working with our health influencers and some of our celebrity influencers, which I'll talk about a little bit more. And then, like I mentioned, we're also getting blueberries in new products. So we have a food tech program, which I'll share a little bit about, that's getting blueberries in new products. And we're even looking at niche areas like beauty and pet foods that is really taking off. Now on here I have our target audience of, we call them moderate users. They represent about 25% of the population, consume about 7 cups of blueberries annually. And our heavy users, which are much more health focused. Food is who they are, it's how they live, and they serve more as the trendsetters to influence those moderate Marks and Mandys, I'll call it, and you'll probably hear me say that throughout, just puts more of a face to our target audience. But our moderate Mandys they're looking for shortcuts. They're into health, but they don't really know why things are healthy or want to know all those details. They're largely driven by taste, and that's what you'll see as I show you our campaign. So we're promoting blueberries year-round, fresh and frozen. During we heavy up on our programs during the peak season of supply. But I want to let you know, when you see mainly our digital ad campaign, which I'll show you, we focus mainly on fresh, but we do focus on frozen in our messaging, when we talk to the media, in all of our processed and restaurant food work, which really is a good portion of our budget. So we are doing that as well. I want you to be assured. And these are our key strategies. We are including a highly targeted, comprehensive digital advertising campaign, focused on getting blueberries top of mind, top of list with consumers. We're partnering with celebrities and influencers to create a buzz and drive blueberry recommendations to others that they have influence over. We're launching shareable online content to drive awareness and word of mouth. And we're creating a steady drum of media coverage focused on health, taste, and versatility. In 2018, we came out with the Positively Bluetiful campaign, and just 10 months into the campaign, we have been exceeding all of our key metrics. I won't go into those, but we have a series of video ads that have been doing really well, and we have these banner ads or digital ads, and as you'll see, the Berry That Loves You Back is focused more on a health message. Buy them by the boxful, eat them by the handful is more of a call to action. You know, we're trying to get people to actually understand they should eat more. What does that look like? How often should you eat? Trying to drive those purchases. I wanted to share with you one of the video spots. We call this one, it was a top performing Guillermo. So here you go. There's no
heart. It cascades and swells, breaking like a wave, washing over us in a brief, glorious moment. What would you give to see that smile again?
I have to tell you, I've been here less than a year. And when I first came, I thought, blueberries on pizza, really? But I have to tell you, it is like my favorite go-to now. I put that and arugula on my pizza, and when they pop and they cook, it just tastes really good. So I dare you to try that if you haven't already. Has anybody ever ate blueberries on pizza? No? Nobody? All right. Well, let me know. Write me and let me know how it tastes. So we've been working with several influencers, or call them spokespeople, that we actually partner with, and we pay them to, because they already have a huge following. They're very popular with our target audience. They're already out there, you know, making recipes, that it's a perfect to work with them, and they love blueberries already, to share more content, inspiring content about blueberries. So they share posts, they share videos of their own, and they have giveaways. Our digital and our social media platforms are reaching not just the young. People think that this is for the millennials and it's young, but it really is reaching the 30 plus audience. Many people are online now. So especially on Facebook, that's one of the social media platforms geared towards the older audience. Brandy Malloy here, she is really popular with our target audience, and she's a lifestyle and food expert. She's a regular contributor to the Today Show, which we're quite excited about because she got us coverage for blueberries. She has a YouTube series. She's appeared on the Food Network and other cooking shows. And she has incredible bandwidth when it comes to not just social media, but getting coverage with the media. So we were quite excited to be partnering with her, as she's kind of a rising star. And I'll share a little bit more about the dietitians and fitness experts that we work with a little later on. As far as our consumer media, you know, taste is a significant driver for our moderate Mandy's, but it does become a challenge to get that in the media. I mean, 86% of our media coverage is focused on the health benefits of blueberries, which is very important with our heavy users, heavy Hannahs, but taste is really critical with the audience we're targeting. And one way we're trying to deal with that next year is really driving home that taste and versatility message is by working with celebrity-like actresses like Tia Mowry. She's a cookbook author, TV personality. She was on the hit show Sister Sister. And I will tell you, if you haven't heard of her, if you do mention her, I know a lot of our committee members said they mentioned them to some of their younger daughters and friends, and a lot of people were like, "You've got Tia Mowry? Oh my God." So we're pretty excited about that. We haven't had a celebrity spokesperson for a couple years. So she's going to be getting content out with recipes, videos, blogs. She'll do media interviews and appearances on top tier media for us. And you'll see a little bit more about her in a minute. We know social media is important to our target audience. They buy products that they see on social media. That's why we're going to continue to engage them through all social media platforms. We have a large following on a lot of our own social media, in addition to the partners that we work with. We do send out quarterly emails. We have consumers subscribe to our e-blast from our website. And then we also have gathered, we send it to audiences that reach our target audience, like restaurant chefs, health experts, to keep them inspired on blueberries. And I want to give you a sneak peek at next year's campaign.
Oh, that's who that is. I was trying
Yeah.
to figure out who you're talking about.
Yeah, it's funny though when you do. People have seen that. That's got to
Did you catch the raspberry debate?
No.
They talked about this at the this morning.
They do.
Yeah,
About what?
the efforts that the national process for the raspberry commission has been doing.
I'd like to see that. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
more than if you say eat a cup, because they're probably throwing them on their cereal or in their yogurts and it's less than that. So it's not so prescriptive of what we found from the research, and it's more of, you know, eat a bunch of them, whatever that means to them, and eat it often. I got stuck on that. But I'll keep going. You may have to change that. I want to share a little bit more details on our health professional program. The assessments that you pay have allowed us to solicit proposals from top universities around the world. And since our program has been around for almost 20 years now, our studies have shown to help build demand. There we go, a little bit back. Sorry about that. We're doing an excellent job at getting the health benefits of blueberries in the media through stories from what we call our Blue Crew, health influencers. And we're also giving nutrition-related content to dietitians and other health professionals. Investigators are pursuing tracks in 5 areas: cardiovascular health, insulin response, brain health, cancer research, and more recently, gut health or microbiome, which is still in its early stages, but the other areas are more advanced. I do have in the back of the room a one-pager on new research if you're interested and you want to read more, that we just updated on some of our funded studies. We also have a published list of studies now on our website, and you can see that as well. So we're promoting science-based evidence about blueberries to our target audience of registered dietitians or RDs who work in the media. So it's important what they're sharing, and other health professionals such as fitness experts and doctors. And the strategies that we use are relationship building. We have a list of about 90,000 now, different professionals, health experts, and we just went to FNCE. It's the Food and Nutrition Conference and Expo, which is the largest gathering of dietitians in the world, and we continue to engage with them at our booth. We also had sponsored an event, an exercise event, talking about a research link with exercise to blueberries, and engaging those people to write about it. We also get a lot of media coverage on this latest nutrition research, and we are encouraging these health professionals to make recommendations to their clients and their patients about the health and lifestyle benefits of blueberries. And again, the way we are doing this, conducting outreach to the health professionals, are through press releases. We have infographics that the media like. And we also do sponsored editorial content. So we work with these partners that I mentioned, and we get articles in top tier publications. And I want to share a little bit about the research that has led to media coverage with you. This right here is focused on heart health and blueberries. Some of the media coverage stemmed from a study on the prevention of atherosclerotism, if I can pronounce that right, or bad cholesterol, and how blueberries can help prevent that. You see here a Mind Body Green. It was one of our registered dietitians, Jenna Braddock, and she was talking about how blueberries can boost natural energy, and that reached 6.58 million people. We also had a article in the Men's Journal, which reached 3.4 million people, And that was from a funded study that showed blueberries decrease cardiovascular risk factors in obese men and women with metabolic syndrome. And that was our partner, Natalie Rizzo. She's a fitness expert and an RD. And she was talking about natural ways to decrease blood pressure. We've received multiple placements on TV from this study in LA and in Florida with our Dr. Reuter, another partner, talking about heart healthy recipes, and Patricia Bannon, an RD, which you saw in the video, talking about how to eat for under $10, and blueberries was a part of that. We also had an article in Dairy Foods, says purple superfruits pack antioxidant powder, and that reached 76,000 people, talking about the health benefits of anthocyanin containing foods. This slide talks about brain health. We received coverage on NDTV talking about sedentary lifestyles may affect brain health, and this reached almost 9 million people. And this stemmed from our USHBC funded study on dietary blueberries improves cognition in older adults. And MyFitnessPal was a great article reaching 3.4 million, and it included a segment from Jenna Braddock, one of our partners, talking about brain health. And we completed almost a dozen radio segments on stations, including NBC News, Radio here in Seattle, Tacoma, during Alzheimer and Brain Awareness Month, talking about the role that blueberries play. We also funded a study on oral health and blueberries. We reached about 200,000 people through several articles in the Packer, Fresh Plaza, Fruit Portal, and Now You Know. So those are just some of the things that we have been able to do. And there's more. What we're going to do next year is we're going to have a blueberry science event, our own sponsored event, bringing in high profile media. And we're going to time it around when we have our own research to release around blueberries. And that's going to be in New York City. And we'll have the researcher that conducted the research presenting, as well as our own researcher contractor, Leslie Wada. And I also want to say, we don't always, it takes long time for these studies to get finalized and show results, or they may not show results in some cases. So we don't always wait around. We actually try to leverage other research that comes out about blueberries and continue to keep that health halo in the media. And lastly, our food tech program is what we call it, where we're trying to get blueberries into food and non-food uses, as I had mentioned earlier. We know that 63% of consumers from our research want real blueberries in products, not artificial ingredients. So we created a Real Seal program, and we have about 100 domestic and export companies that have signed up to put this Real Seal on their package. There's a criteria that they have to meet in order for us to let them use that they are using real blueberries. We're also working with food scientists on formulas and recipes and providing them technical assistance to encourage them to use blueberries in their products. We're conducting interviews and publicity and advertorials, and we're running ads in key publications that are reaching these food manufacturers and scientists to keep blueberries top of mind with them. And we also have a lot of this technical advice on our website. We keep up to date on the latest going on in the industry for food scientists through our blog, and we send out a newsletter. And all of that is on our website, realblueberries.org. So I'm going to show you one more video. Some of our growers talking about what they value of USHBC. And then Nathan's going to come up and Sakuma and say a few words as well. He's been very actively involved in our organization and had the pleasure to work with him on several committees. So here we go. the National Red Raspberry was voted on today. So I thought it might be really important to, again, share. These are some of the successes that we have had on the flyer that's in the back of the room. Please talk to me. I'd love to meet as many people as I can. Tell me what your concerns are and answer any of your questions. But if Nathan will come up and say a few words, and then we can open up to questions.
Yeah, thank you, Vicki, for presenting. I think a lot of us, we write checks to the council and there's a disconnect knowing where our money is and how it's being spent. And so I think it's valuable for us to see that. As mentioned, my name's Nathan Sakuma. I've been involved in the promotions committee, this committee that was kind of talked about, as well as the subcommittee for the export for the last few years. And yeah, it's been a really good experience. I think we can all agree that there's a huge amount of fruit coming, and increasing demand is going to be the primary mechanism for kind of keeping this business sustainable. From my perspective, the best vehicle to achieve that demand is through the council, whether it's through opening new markets on the export committee or just increasing domestic demand through the promotion. So, I mean, I definitely am open. I'd encourage you guys to reach out to me if you have questions or concerns specifically on the export. That's where a lot of my efforts on the council are focused. But you know, I'd be happy to answer any questions, or if you guys have positions or recommendations on what we should be doing differently, I'd be happy to pass that along. And then finally, I just echo, I don't know if Alan's still here, but I'd echo his kind of comments on encouraging you guys to participate, attend the meetings. There's really not a lot of representatives from the Pacific Northwest, even though we represent such a huge amount of the industry. And I guess I just end on, if you guys aren't there, Alan's going to represent you guys, and I just let that sink in on where we're at. So yeah, please come to the meetings.
Thank you, Nathan. I think we don't have a lot of time, but so if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to see you afterwards. And please do. And thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Victoria. If you do have questions, Victoria will be around for the next day or so. Is that right?
Yes, through tomorrow.
So definitely look her up.
It's for my name. It is Dutch.
I'm Chad Kruger from Washington State University, and I have the pleasure of introducing the next speaker. The next speaker is the new Dean of the College of Agriculture, Human and Natural Resource Sciences at Washington State University, Andre Wright. He most recently comes to us in June from the University of Arizona. And just a quick story before